Initially, I booked an afternoon flight to Cebu, but with all the flight delays and cancellations, I got kind of scared because my flight to Singapore is only a few hours from my arrival to Cebu. So, I booked another flight which flew in the morning of July 30th. Now, my connecting flight to Singapore wouldn't be until 2 a.m. the next day, so instead of trying to figure out how to spend my approximately 16 hours layover in Cebu, I booked an aerotel so I could rest, freshen up, and relax before I flew to Singapore. Buti na lang, I arrived pretty early sa airport kasi dalawa lang yung counter na open for all PAL flights, which was actually just Manila and Cebu. Sa tagal ko nang hindi nakakalipad, my last flight being October of 2022, I forgot to check in online kaya napilitan akong pumila sa check-in counter na sobrang haba. I had an hour to spare after checking in, and since this was early in the morning, doon na lang ako sa may boarding gate bumili ng breakfast. Fortunately, my flight was on time, and I was a little surprised that instead of a jumbo jet, turboprop plane ang gamit ng PAL palipad ng Cebu. I was a little overwhelmed pero natuwa din ako because this is another aircraft that I was able to add to my roster of aircrafts I flew in. I arrived in Cebu at 10 in the morning and mabilis ko namang nakuha yung baggage ko, so I went directly to Terminal 2 para mag-check-in for my hotel. Aerotel Cebu is located in Level 2 at the International Terminal, which was only a few minutes walk from Terminal 1. Funny how my room number was my date of birth. So, ito yung room nila sa Aerotel. It is small but cozy enough for me to rest while I await my early morning flight to Singapore the next day. After a little settling in, I went back to Terminal 1 to hunt for my lunch. And syempre, being in Cebu, I couldn't really miss out on the lechon. So, sa room na lang ako nag-lunch and I took a quick nap afterwards. Night befell kinda quick, so I went back to Terminal 1 para naman mag-dinner. I then freshened up and at around 11 in the evening, I checked out from the hotel and went up to the international departure area to check in for my flight to Singapore. This wasn't my first solo international flight, but it still fueled my anxiety, especially because I was scared of flying, and worst, I was flying alone. I was able to endure it anyways, and I arrived in Singapore safe, albeit sleepless.